Yes, we are gold leafing today. We are using resin right here, but if you haven't seen the first video of designing and doing the first part of this character, I would highly suggest you go watch it. I put so much time into the canvas getting to this stage, but also the video. I love to document and do videography of all my projects, so it's a huge, awesome video. Go check it out and then come back here because we're gonna do some crazy stuff I've never done before. I'm pretty nervous because I've put so much work into this character already, and I'm gonna do things that aren't gonna ruin it. I think the gold leaf will only add some cool stuff. Maybe I'll fumble a little, maybe it won't go perfect since it's my first time. I don't foresee super big issues in terms of errors, just actually more time than I think it will take. And then the crazy scariest part is the resin. I've never done it before, and it's a really cool thing. A lot of artists do it, and there's a lot of information online, but I don't know how it's gonna turn out, and it could possibly make or break the painting, but we're gonna get into all that today, so let's get started. Oh yeah. Ancient method of getting dust off. Check this sword out. I had it in my studio for so long I forgot about it. New sword. All right. We took care of the background. That was an important step before the gilding process, because after I gild, I would have to tape it up. It would have ruined it, so it's a clear step to do before. I didn't know I was gonna do this beautiful, sweet Himalayan blue Montana gold spray paint. I thought for a while I was gonna do white, but then I was like, we need some color, and I think the color between this and the frame is a nice contrast, and it matches the skin tone. So blue, it went. I'm really happy with that decision. I've never done gilding, but I've strategized. I've really planned this painting out to kind of really behoove me when I do all these new things I've never done. So for example, the frame, obviously gold, only gold leaf will be going there, so it kind of matches that color. The crown and the jewelry, you know, there's two different colors, silver and like a reddish brick, bronzy, so bronze here and here and here and here, and silver there. So that's the strategy, and you might think that's simple, but that was very intentional, and it's gonna be delicious. And I don't know the designs within these shapes yet, but that's the fun part, and that's what we're gonna figure out. And it's pretty cool, these gilding sets I got. You know, my local art store went out of business, which isn't cool at all, but I got to snag these kits for a really good price, silver, bronze, and gold, and they have all the directions, all the necessities, and all these little things. I'm pretty sure it's pretty straightforward. There's basically an adhesive, a size, that's the tacky glue part, and then you pretty much just apply the gold leaf, and it's very delicate. It's extremely thin, like just your breath will make it float away. So it's gonna be fun. Really, the biggest part now is gonna be designing the shapes of where the gold and silver and bronze is gonna go on the canvas. Wow, it's gonna be so exciting. Onward. So if you remember, these are the pieces of paper I cut out to stencil out the frame so that on the canvas, all four corners, these shapes will be identical. It worked out. I'm actually gonna use these exact shapes to stencil out the adhesive for where the gold leaf goes. So if I just had, glued up this entire shape and then try to place the foil exactly where I want it to go, it'll be a disaster. It won't work. I need to accurately and specifically glue up shapes to where the foil will exactly go over there. So I'm gonna use these, I'm gonna cut them out, and these will be the templates for that. So just to show you what I mean if you didn't get it. Now I'll be able to lay this out. I'll just glue in here, and that's exactly where the gold leaf will go. So it's all blocked out and equal when I change different corners and everything. All right. So this is the craziest setup I've done. I've actually never shot the camera at this exact angle. It kind of works because there's like a thunderstorm, so it's not super bright, overexposing the window. Anyways, you can see the microphone right here. We got a crazy setup, and I wanted to go kind of overkill so that I could get all the shots of this gold leaf process. We're all set up with the stencils. I got all my desk space ready, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the stencils, lay them out, and it's like a 15-30 minute dry time after you put the glue for it to be the tacky kind of viscosity, whatever, of the glue you want. You don't put the glue down and then immediately put the gold leaf on. You have to wait like 15 to 30 minutes, so we'll do probably about 15-20. I guess we'll just put the gold leaf on. I'm pretty nervous. I'm pretty excited as well. I've been waiting for this moment for a while, and we're doing the frame just first, and then we'll go into the face or the jewelry. So I guess we're gonna begin. Boom. All right. So I guess we'll start in this corner. Lining this sucker up. I like where that is. We're just gonna gently put this glue on. I don't want to overdo the glue. It's also like 80 degrees in here. So I don't know if that's gonna affect, it's actually way hotter than that. It's like 87 degrees, which is nice though. It's nice to sweat sometimes. It's nice to, it's like almost the uncomfortability makes me focus. And I have fans running when I'm not recording, so. But yeah, I wonder if that's gonna affect the glue dry time. I wonder if it's gonna affect the gold leaf. Woo! All right, I'm bringing the gold leaf over here. I have this brush that it came with that's very nice actually, very fuzzy. And I'm going to, I don't know what I'm gonna do because these come in squares. Oh. And I really can't tell if it's tacky. I'm so sweaty that I think, look at how thin that is. Well, I just went for it. Like my hands are so sticky because I want the gold leaf over here. It's definitely tacking, so that's good. Maybe I should wear those gloves they gave me, huh? This is scary. Okay, putting on these gloves. Fancy schmancy. Might just have to re-glue some stuff, you know. But I just want to make sure that this edge is looking good. Like, I think it's just the glue. The glue up part is like the most important part. Let's just take a quick look at this. Oh, is that in frame? Pretty cool. I got some touch-ups to do for sure after it's all done. Back with the paintbrush. That's a step that I always do, but the gold looks good. Yeah. I love this new microphone I got. It's so juicy. Isn't it awesome? I feel like it boosts the quality of my videos now because I have this beautiful mic. Anyways, we're gonna sit down for a solid couple minutes right now and talk about this painting. I wanna do a critique. And I don't do super specific critiques that maybe people would be into, like a full 5-10 minute video talking about stuff. I talk about my art in every video. I really try to share my whole experience and the kind of, honest truth of how I feel in the process and anything. But, I don't get enough people, other artists I look up to or other people in the, this world to look and talk about my work. And it's a really good thing, especially if you're trying to improve. More so maybe for traditional oil painting, but subjectively, other opinions can't hurt, and it's always good to see other people's opinions in a critiquing manner, not good or bad, just other perspectives. I'm gonna talk about this real quick. First, we gotta talk about the resin. I'm not doing the resin, and I know that sucks because I said I was, but there's a lot of reasons why, and I'll tell you right now. First of all, my opinion was that this is a very big painting to do a resin, especially for my first time. And a couple subscribers actually reached out to me on Instagram, which was awesome, and said the same thing, that they had issues with doing canvases, resining canvases this big, and the weight of the resin at the end pushes down on the canvas, and because it's so big, it stretches over time. So that's a definite no-no. Also, this canvas specifically, sadly, there's some bowing in the frame. I mean, you would never be able to tell from this angle, and only kind of looking at it straight on like an arrow, you could see the bow, and so that would just mean more resin in the center. Out to the sides would be kind of uneven. So that's just another reason. And if you remember from the beginning of the video, I don't know how it's going to turn out, and it could possibly make or break the painting. And so from the beginning, from the jump of this whole project, I was very curious and very nervous about this step. And so rationally thinking as like a person trying to, obtain and yield the most success, if there's an element that's really gonna be tricky and, maybe even 50% failure, it just doesn't make sense to do that and to risk the whole, project with all the work I've already done. I'm all about experimentation, trying new things, challenging myself. But again, if there's like a step that really, is going to be iffy and you don't know and you can't really control the outcome, then it's not worth it. So that's the reason I did it. I want to do it eventually in future videos, I'm sure, on wood panels, even just smaller canvases. We're definitely going to get it around to some resining. And so then the critique of this whole canvas, I'm super happy with it. It's super crazy to sit here after 3-4 months of really wanting to start this project. I almost started like 4 different times, and then other projects happened and life happened, but it's crazy to sit here finished. I put in like 8 days of work, really hard work, which is a lot, usually longer than I do. And I think this turned out great. All these little decisions that I do that maybe seem mundane or just simple or obvious, that, they take so much time and it weighs on me so much. For example, the skin tone, it's like, oh, blue. But it's like, what kind of blue? A teal, a darker, ultramarine rich blue. And then the values, the colors of the values. Am I getting grayer as the blue value gets darker? Am I getting, is it going to be a warmer? Is it going to be a higher chroma? All these things with the hair also. It's just a simple gray. I didn't know if I wanted to do pink for a while, green. I went with just like a black and kind of white chromatic hair color. But even the hair, is it going to be a little warmer gray? Is the shadow getting warmer or cooler? And all these things, even the outline, the blue and then the blue outline, this blue and then this blue outline, all these things, they're just very specific, and it's just detailed kind of technical stuff, but that weighs on me, and I really am happy with it. The frame I'm happy with also. I love the frame idea. It was like the whole theme of my merch drop. And that's awesome. The gold foil, also super epic. I was so happy to do it. I've never done it. This was such a great experience for me, a kind of entry point into the whole gilding world. It was definitely different than I certainly expected. I don't know, I watched a million videos like I do to get familiar, and just the level of detail that you could achieve was less than I thought. And I still, I didn't want to get more detail than what's on the canvas now. I wouldn't have gone more intense. This is exactly what I wanted in the shapes that I wanted to design within the shapes I gave myself, but actually just the process of doing it was different. It was a little more challenging than I thought, more tedious, kind of more frustrating. It still happened, it was fine. But there's spots where I actually left where there's little blemishes that didn't kind of be super exact, and I left that because I thought that was kind of cool. It could be a weathered look, like the frame perhaps is like an older weathered canvas, and parts of the crown. I went back and re-glued a bunch of stuff to get it perfectly, and I also went in with paint to cover up parts of the foil to just make it really creased and beautiful. So I could have really done that for the whole thing. I just decided against that aesthetically to leave some kind of weathered places. Still continuing this rant. And then overarching theme of my work and kind of my style, this isn't really critique, this is kind of a general view. You know, the colors I use, there's vibrant colors in like a lot of the stencil projects, but I think this is the loudest, kind of most extra, if you could say, of my paintings. And I really enjoy that. That's what I was going for. You know, the vibrance of the blues and all the details with the gold foil. You know, there's a lot to look at, and it's kind of really in your face, I'd like to say, relative to perhaps my other paintings. And I'm a huge fan and a huge believer of subtlety, and you know, there's a lot of elegance in simplicity, so I go that route a lot. But that's also something, just looking at my own style and work, that I would like to perhaps change. You know, most of these characters are just straight on profile, nothing else. Symmetry, it's very balanced, it's like almost hyper balanced and just simple, and that's the agenda. You know, obviously I design it that way, and that's what you're looking at. But I would like perhaps in my composition to be more dynamic and to have different poses or three-quarter views or have unbalanced things, you know? That's something looking forward that I would love to do. It's not a critique on this work specifically. Again, I'm just kind of overarching, analyzing my work. But yeah, I have big plans. This was a good journey. I'm super happy with it. She's beautiful. My wife, hopefully we'll have a loving marriage together. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. If you watched this huge mega rant, JT made the intro and the beautiful music, and so thanks to JT. This was awesome. Subscribe to stay tuned. We got so many projects here in the crazy studio of wonder. I'm so lucky to have it, and I really appreciate everyone watching the videos and supporting. That's all I got. See you in the next video.